All praise to the Most High, Ahaya, and to his son, Yahayasha, Halal Hayah. This is Brother Holly here with the first Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the AHAYAH'S channel, as well as the House of Ahaya channel on this set-apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, as always, children, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, Halal Hayah, and to his son, Yahayasha, the most holy one, the one who gave himself for us that we might have life, and that life is in him, Halal Hayah. Now, if you could not tell by the exuberance of the introduction, Brother Holly is on fire today, children. I must tell you, I even brought my staff. We on fire today. We on fire today. I like to say right up front that I had a whole separate message prepared, but High by his spirit arrested me and said, son, talk about this. So I'm going to give High some praise. I'm going to let you know how High has been at work and what he's been doing. The very things we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks, children. The very things we've been discussing, Ahaya has been doing. Remember 2 weeks ago we talked about you got to go through trials. You got to go through testing. You got to be purified and tried like silver and gold before you go to your wealthy place. That's Psalms 38. And we said last week from the Apocrypha as well as from the New Testament that when you're being tempted and tried and tested, that there's a way of escape. Ahaya is faithful, who will provide a way of escape that you'll may be able to bear up under that temptation. And it says in the Apocrypha, in the same place it talks about being tempted, it talks about being tested. It says that honorable men, faithful men are tested in the fire of adversity. And Brother Holly has both faced major adversity over the last couple of weeks. Brother Holly's faced major temptations. And the Most High has prepared the wealthy place and the way of escape all at the same time. Oh, praises! Yes, I gotta talk about it. I'll give you detail. I won't be long, child. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be reading from the Learn Paleo Hebrew Torah, Lashwan Kodash, Holy Tongue, Yeshaya, Ahaya Bible Scriptures, and we're going to be reading from the other reference as well. I'll just show it. I always get a giggle out of showing this one anyway. But we're going to be reading from the Bible King James Apocrypha version, the truth revealed and restored, Abba Father, Ahai, Yeshaya, Quadash Akkad, Ancient Paleo Hebrew English Bible. We're reading for both today. So we're reading a little snap out of the Apocrypha, but we're going to spend most of our time in both the Old and New Testaments. Y'all all right? I hope so. Y'all ready to go? I hope so. So let's go. Turn with me to Mark chapter 16. We got to lay down the groundwork. Mark chapter 16, and forgive me for the stick. It's been one of those mornings, child. I just want you to understand how it's just been stirring me. He said, I want you to talk about this. I want you to talk about what you're seeing, son, what you're going through. He's giving me license to give you just a little bit of insider information, for lack of a better term. So he told me I could share, so I'll share. All right, let's go. Mark chapter 16, let's read verse 20. Let's read verse 19 and 20. So then after the master had spoken unto them, he was received up into heaven and sat down at the right hand of Ahaya. Mark chapter 16, verse 20. And they went forth preaching everywhere. Speaking of the apostles. The master working with them, and here it is, confirming the word with signs following. We highlight. That's what Ahai does. That's what the Messiah does. He goes with us. They're listening to what we are saying. Those of us who are those speakers, those of us who are the preachers, those of us who are the teachers, those of us who open our mouth and proclaim the word, they're listening to us. And if you're proclaiming what they said, what the Father said, or what his Son said, they'll go with you, confirming what you say with signs following. Just 2 weeks ago, I told you here on the AHAYAH'S channel, 2 weeks ago, I told you what to do and why to endure the trials you're going through. That you're going to get tried. You can't avoid it. You're going to be tried. But what do you look forward to through the trial? While you're being tested, while you're under the trial, while you're in the furnace of adversity, what should you be looking forward to, child? You should be looking forward to entering into your wealthy place. All praises. And last week, we talked about temptations. That if you come to a high, prepare your heart for temptation. You're going to be tempted. I'm going to be tempted. And Brother Holly been tempted. I told you last week the things that bother me the most. The things that tempt me, the evil that tempt me the most. I told you I was a drunken, brawling, womanizing liar. And I'm always tempted in those 4 things. Every time, every turn. These 4 things are what my temptations revolve around. I know the vector in which I'm attacked. And I know how to build a strong defense against these attacks. And in any one of those things, the enemy of our souls will set. He said, oh, that didn't get you? Let's try this one. Well, he dug up a good one trying to get me to start womanizing again. Oh, put her right in front of me. Bring her around all the time. I just shoo her. I shoo her not only physically, but I shoo her here. I don't linger on her. Say I ain't got nothing to do with her. I ain't got nothing to do with her. That's a bright move. Just say, I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I'm tempted to drink, I say, I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I'm tempted to lie, I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I'm tempted to steal, I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I'm tempted to brawl, I ain't got nothing to do with that. If I'm tempted to start womanizing again, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm dead to all those things. That I might be alive to Yahayah, our master, halal, hayah. All praises. I'm dead to those things. The great apostle Saul said it in Romans chapter 6. To be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Allahayah through Yahayah, our master. All praises. That's a direct quote from Saul, who the world ignorantly calls Paul. But we're not going to go over that tread again this week. Not now. We're going to look at the master going with us to confirm the word. How is the word of being tried and being, wealthy place being set up? How did that come to pass, Brother Holly? Well, I'll be a little bit transparent with you. Over the last couple of weeks, I received notice that in my spacious estate here, 1 block from the ocean, as I look out the window now, I can see the beautiful blue Atlantic Ocean, the warm breeze blowing, sun shining. It's beautiful. Go out on the deck, watch the sunrise. I've been living 1 block from the ocean, children, in a 4-bedroom, right at 1,700 square feet, 2-story. And I've been paying less than $2,000 a month for years. Now, you might say, wow, you must live in a dump. No, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. I do not. I know for a fact I pay less than my neighbors pay for the same thing. Why Brother Holly get a sweetheart deal? I don't know. I have no idea why they just won't raise my rent. They raise everybody else's. I hear them talking about it. I hear them complaining about it. I just smile. They ain't raise mine. Oh, praise it. Most High will will put his hand on you. He'll give you favor. Didn't I say in his word that if a man's ways please AHAYAH, he'll make even his enemies to be at peace with him? Yeah, I walk in that office once a year like everybody else. Sign my name on a rental contract like everybody else do. For the same amount of money. Less than $2,000 to live in the same place that they're paying almost $3,000 to live in. However, I just received notice about a month and a half ago that, sweetheart deal's over. They raised my rent almost almost $900 a month. I was like, wow, that's a bolt out the blue. However, that doesn't affect me in the way it would affect some other people. See, AHAYAH has really, truly blessed me. I just say it like that. That didn't even scratch the surface. You could raise my rent $1,000 a month and it wouldn't change anything. And one of the reasons why it won't change anything, because I pay this much interest every year. Everything in my life, to include my rental properties, everything in my life, cars, property, everything, the spoons in the drawers, everything was purchased in cash, with cash. This much interest. I haven't paid interest, children. Not one penny interest in over 5 years. All praises. Why, Brother Holly? Why are you so adamant about that? Because it says in the scriptures, you shall lend unto many and thou shalt not borrow. Wow. Most people charge their gas. $25, they charge it. It's a habit, child. That's all it is, sir. Sir, ma'am, it's a habit. It's a habit you don't need to have, nor do I. We have a commandment not to practice like that, not to live like that. We have a commandment not to lend out our money to usury, to interest. So what do we do? Do we break that commandment? Or do we align our affairs right so we can keep it? That's what I chose to do. And I'm on the other end of it, and I'm doing very well. The average person pays somewhere in the neighborhood of $8,000 a year of interest. In just the 5 years I haven't paid any, that's $40,000 average that you could have used for some other purpose, like buying cars, for instance. So what does that all have to do with you being tried, Brother Holly, and you going to your wealthy place from the trial? What does that have to do with you being tempted, Brother Holly, and the way of escape being made? Well, at the same time, approximately the same time that my rent was being raised dramatically, my work environment completely, utterly degraded to a place now. It's not a hostile work environment. It's a hostile and toxic work environment. We have recently had people who have been with the particular positions for decades, with still a lot of tread left on the tire, walk out the door in an instant. Just, I'm done. I'm not working here another moment kind of thing. And when you see these senior leaders just get up and walk out, never to come back. I mean, they burned the bridges, they salted the fields, and they shot all the hostages. They didn't care. I don't care if I get another job. I don't care. I just ain't gonna never dog on your doorstep again. Wow, now that's not an environment where I'll be trying to stay forever. I won't try to make a career there. I said this ground is so poison, I wouldn't plant anything in it, because ain't nothing gonna grow up but some trouble. Wow. When they asked me what I thought, that's what I said. That I wouldn't plant a thing in this ground. This ground is poisonous. Ain't nothing gonna grow up except something evil. So, a way of escape had to be made. AHAYAH'S, I say had to be made, child, because his reputation as the faithful one was being put on display. I said he was faithful to provide the way of escape. His reputation is on the line. And AHAYAH is faithful. And he provided me a way of escape. He provided me a wealthy place to go to. I was told, go look at this. I went and looked at it. I couldn't believe it. So I started making some phone calls. Got some people to look at it. And just yesterday, I signed a contract to begin the acquisition of my wealthy place. Oh, praises. Child, I don't think I signed just yesterday to begin the process to acquire my wealthy place. And I'm getting to go to my wealthy place. I don't need this job. I don't need to be here anymore. So I don't need the job that's here anymore. I can go there. So we may have a couple of these Spirit of Truth broadcasts on these channels on remote. I might be, in a hotel somewhere. But suffice it to say, in the next couple of months, for how I wills it to be so, and I live in his son Terry, I will be leaving this place and going on to not just bigger, but better, without labor, child, without issue, child. This heavy yoke I've had, the Messiah's reputation on the line. That's what you need to get today. The Messiah and his Father's reputation is on the line when your life doesn't agree with the word, when you're obedient. All you have to do to eat the good of the land, my brother, my sister, is be obedient. He said it. If you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. If your situation is ragged, if your situation is dire, if your situation is tough, all you got to do is stay obedient to the word. And he will make it all work together for your good. There's words out there. Have he not said it and want to make it good? Did he not say that in the book of Numbers? Did I not say it? Well, he's not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. Have I not said it? And I will not make it good. See, we have these exceedingly great and precious promises. And we're to use these great and precious promises, children, according to the book of Hebrews, as our anchor for our soul. These promises are sure and steadfast. We can use them as an anchor for our soul. Don't ever worry, child. We got a commandment not to worry. We got a commandment to endure temptation. Why? Because if you do, he'll provide you a way of escape. We got a commandment to endure the trial. Why? Because if you do, he'll prepare your wealthy place and you can enter into it. Praises. We've talked about it. Now we're seeing the confirmation of the word. We're seeing the word confirmed with signs following. And there's something I've always been saying, children. And forgive me for preaching more than teaching today. But this is just what's going on. This is what AHAYAH has given me license to say today. This is a celebration of his goodness, of the faithfulness of our Most High power. He is our AHAYAH, not those heathens in the world. And our Most High power is called the faithful one. Our Most High power goes with us to confirm his word with signs following. Raise my rent, I jet. I go to my wealthy place. Make my job intolerable, I walk away. With pay, children. I walk away with pay, children. And go to my wealthy place. With more pay. More pay than I had. It's amazing. All you got to do to have the word confirmed is to go and preach and teach and praise him for everything he does for you and be obedient to what he says. Be obedient today. Be obedient tomorrow. Be obedient 3 years from now. And have a long list of days of obedience to him in every way. He said, wear white when you preach, wear white. He said, put fringes on your garments, put fringe on your garments and a ribbon of blue. Just be obedient, child. Stop arguing with him and start listening to him. Obey his voice. And the day you hear his voice, don't harden your heart. But be obedient. Make your heart soft to him. And you too will go to your wealthy place. You too will have you'll lay up gold like dust. Without labor. Did not the Messiah say, come to me and receive gold? Without labor. Without price. Come and receive, child, gold. Without labor or without price. You ain't got to buy it. He'll just give it you. You got to come to him in obedience. You got to come to him in faith. Nothing wavering. Said we're going to read from the Old Testament. Let's do it. Psalms 138. Let's start reading at verse 6. Though a high be high, yet hath he respect unto the lowly. Well, Brother Holly, I thought he was no respecter of person. Will you please read carefully? He says he's no respecter of person in judgment. Basically, you're gonna reap what you sow. If you reap to the flesh, you'll reap of the flesh corruption. If you reap to the spirit, you'll reap of the spirit everlasting life. You're gonna get what you deserve. He's not gonna give you some unequal response. He don't care who you are. He don't care what you are. That's the respect he's talking about. He does have respect to the lowly who put their trust in him. But he resists the proud. He gives grace to the humble. That's showing respect to them for their humility, for their dependency on him, for their praise of him, for their obedience to him. If you do these things, he will have respect unto you. He will set you up. No matter what they try to do, he'll set you up. Let's keep reading. Let's read again. Psalm 138:6. Though a high be high, yet he have respect unto the lowly, but the proud he knoweth afar off. His son don't even know him. He said, I never knew you. Let's keep reading. Though I walk in the midst of trouble. This is Psalm 138:7. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, I'm there. I know exactly what this means. I know exactly what this is saying. I'm walking in the midst of trouble. I'm watching them fall to the left hand and to my right. I'm watching people walk out the door, burning bridges as they go. Throwing middle fingers into the air. Wow. Yeah, I don't know who's going to quit tomorrow. I mean Monday. Most I will. I don't know. Could be anybody. Could be anybody quit. It's just, you just never know. From one day to the next. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou will revive me. I'm going to be revived. Thou shalt stretch forth thy hand against the wrath of my enemies. Hello. And thy right hand shall save me. Will you highlight? It says in another place that the right hand of a high is the hiding place. Ahaya will this is the verse. I quote this a lot. Oh, this should be worn out in my Bible. I should be able to read it. Psalms 138:8. Ahaya will perfect that which concerns me. Thy mercy, O Ahaya, endure forever. Forsake not the works of thy own hand. Wait, yeah, I quote the first part of that verse all the time. That Ahaya will perfect that which concerns me. It concerned me that my work environment had turned into a snake pit. It concerned me that the people I trusted walked out the door in a huff, a puff of smoke. It concerned me that my leaders are abandoning ship. That concerned me. Especially now that they raising my rent almost $1,000 a month. My living situation is shaky. My work situation is shaky. And I like things to be as tranquil as a pond of water. I don't like living in turmoil. I'm supposed to be living the yoke is easy, burden of life, according to the scripture. So Ahaya had to do that for me. He had to, it was all this turmoil, all this trouble. He had to smooth everything out. So he provided the way of escape, and he led me straight to my wealthy place. Why? Why, child? Why, child? I'm telling you, child. Telling you, children. Telling you. I had to ask my real estate people. I had to ask them over and over again, what's wrong with this deal? Why is this deal so good? I mean, is something wrong with the place? They're like, oh no, we checked it out. I was there a few minutes ago. It's beautiful. Perfect. I was like, why is it so cheap? He said, I don't know. It just is. Why was Brother Holly getting the sweetheart deal, living here one block from the ocean, and now he's going to live on the lake? Oh, praises. For cheap. For cheap. All praises. For cheap. Ain't we able to raise the rent there? Oh, glory. Glory. All praises to Ahaya and his son Yasha. All praises. Why, child? Why? I endured the trial. I endured the temptation. The way of escape led me straight to my wealthy place. And I get to go there with even more passive income than I had previously. Oh, I failed to mention that just this year, because I have this much long-term debt, short-term debt, this much interest I paid, just this past year, my passive income surpassed my active income from working. So the job I'm walking away from, I get to go sit at home for more money than I was working for. I get to leave the snake pit to go sit in my new house, that's my house, with more money than I was making sitting in the snake pit. That's the Most High confirming the word with signs following. And he just doesn't do this for me because he liked the look on my face. No, child. He'll do it for any of us if we'll be willing and obedient. He'll do it for you. He'll do everything he's done for me. He'll do it for you. He is no respecter of persons in judgment. If he'll look upon your life and say, this one's following me, let me bless her. This one's following me, let me bless him. Or he'll say, this one is disobedient, let me make it hard. Let me chasten that one. That one needs to be chastened. What did the Apostle Saul, in whom we all trust, say? If you judge yourself, you shall not be judged. If you judge yourself, you're a chastening of a high, that you won't be judged and condemned with the world. Judge yourself, child. When you want to step out of bounds, you judge yourself. You chasten yourself. You correct yourself, child. Stay in line and receive the overflow. receive the abundance of mercy. Be in a place where you're receiving above and beyond all you can ask or think according to the power that's at work in you. And all this bountifulness that AHAYAH has pushed into my life according to 2 Corinthians chapter 9. This abundant bountifulness causes through me thanksgiving unto him. Told you I was fired up today. I see it, child. I see the word that's came out of my mouth being confirmed all around me. The word I spoke in faith 2 weeks ago. The word I spoke in faith 1 week ago. Come to pass. He doing a short work in the earth. He doing short work. He bringing the past stuff. He bringing it to pass, child. Stay obedient. Watch the word come to pass in your life. What? I'm going from the ocean front to the lakefront. I'm going from a rental to my own home. Wow. Wow. I'm going from the snake pit of labor to the abundance that Most High has laid up for me. Yeah, I'll just sit there in abundance. I don't have to work anymore. It's done. It's over. You know how good that feels? Whew. That place, it's intolerable now. I don't have to work there. I've gone on. We're in the process. It's started. But there's nothing keeping us from this. The way it's been made is smooth. And the path straight. I just gotta walk it. I just gotta walk it out. And just go and enjoy. It's gonna be hard for me, children, to just go and enjoy. For so long, I have wanted this. And now that it's here, I find myself feeling some kind of way. I should just do what I'm doing right now. Smile and enjoy the goodness of our Most High power. All praise to the Most High AHAYAH and to his son, Yahayasha. Halal Hayah.